Hello, my dear students and the rest of the learners. Welcome to part 17 of an 18-part series of tutorials in applying spreadsheet using Microsoft Excel. In this tutorial, I'm going to look at how you insert and manipulate charts and graphics. My name is MemGM, so you can simply call me Emily Swap. What are charts or graphs? A chart or a graph is a picture that represents values and their relationship in order to help the reader to quickly see trends in data and be able to compare and contrast aspects of data that would otherwise have remained obscure. The main functions of a chart or importance of charts are: number one, they are used to show the relationship between the values in a worksheet. Number two, they help the reader to see the trends in data. Number three, they help the reader to be able to compare and contrast aspects of data that is hard to interpret when in numerical form. Number four, they make the data easier to interpret. Number five, they grab a reader's attention almost instantly and allow information to be assimilated quickly. Number six, they are important tools for data analysis and interpretation. So what are the types of charts? The type of the chart you choose depends on the kind of data you are trying to chart and how you want to present that data. The following are therefore some major types of charts or graphs and their purpose. Number one is called column chart. A column chart illustrates individual values at a specific point in time and is suitable for emphasizing the difference between items. For example, to represent the performance in terms of unit score and total score for 3 students in the same class. It represents data as a cluster comparing values across categories. For example, so this is an example of a column chart. Number two is pie chart. A pie chart is used to show the relationship among parts of a whole so that the reader can assess and compare items readily. It displays the contribution of each value to a grand total. For example, a student scores in several units in a class. So this is how a pie chart would look like. Number three is bar chart. A bar chart is used to compare values at a given point in time. The data values are arranged horizontally as clustered bars. It compares values across categories. For example, so this is an example of a bar chart. And you can be able to see the difference between this bar chart and the column chart. Number four is line. Line chart is a chart that illustrates linear or unbroken changes in a large number of values. It is used to emphasize trends and the changes of values over time. For example, this would be a line chart or line graph. Number five is XY scatter or XY, also called scatter. It compares pairs of values on the same axis, especially as a diagnostic tool when looking for heavy occurrences or absences of data. It is commonly used in scientific applications. An example of such a chart is this one. Number six is called area chart. An area chart shows how volume changes over time and emphasizes the amount of change. It is used for giving a bigger sense of mass of a change or a concept. And this is how an area chart or area graph looks like. How do you create a chart? To create a chart, first select the data values you want to place in it. Number 2, click on Insert menu. Number 3, select the chart type and one of its chart subtype and the chart toolbar. Number 4, set the data series either in rows or in columns. Number 5, click on each of the various parts of the inserted chart and amend it as required. For example, titles, legends, axes, green lines, data labels, and data table. Finally, you click on OK if available. The following is a sample demonstration on how to generate a chart and a graph from the data in a workbook called MLSWAP College Term 2 results. So if, for example, we have data in our worksheet, as you can see, we can decide to represent certain figures using a graph or a chart. For example, if I wanted to generate a chart containing my rounded scores, that is 53, 57, 56, 53, 68, 67, 70, 58, 64, 64, and 66, what you need to do is to select the cells first, like we have done. So to select cells, you click on the first cell, and then while pressing down your mouse button over the rest of the text, you drag and then you release. Once you have done that, then you click on Insert menu and then choose the chart type of your choice. So these are the charts. So I can choose one. So let me click on column chart, 3D column. So I'll click on 3D column like that. And this is therefore our chart. This is the chart that we have generated. Let me insert a different kind of chart or graph. So let me select basis score. And then once you select, you click on Insert menu. And then this time around, I'll click on pie chart. So click on pie chart, this one. And this is our chart. That is our chart. So we have charts and we also have graphs, as you can see. And therefore, that's how you insert a chart or a graph into a worksheet. Let's now look at chart elements. So this is an example of a worksheet with various texts. So what are the main parts of a chart? Like the chart which I have in this presentation. So the first part of a chart element is this one. So this is called chart title, chart title. The second one, or the second part, is this one. This part is called, that part is called grid lines. The next part is this part here. This part is called data ranges. Then we have this other part of the chart here. This is called legend. The next part is this part. This part is called category x-axis heading. The next part of our chart column graph is this element here. So this element is called data table. We also have this part. This part is called chart axis. Chart axis. Then this other part here is called data series, or this one is called value axis. And the last part is this one, which we call labels. So what does each of those parts do? We begin with the data ranges. Data ranges is the data collected to create the chart. It's a rectangular block of cells that provides the base data that is used to create the chart. It is referenced as absolute range. For example, equals to sheet 2, exclamation mark, $L, $4, full colon, $L, $14. The second part is called labels. The actual label, or the actual value, this is the actual value, percentage, or a name of a segment of chart. The next part is called headings and titles. These are lines of text used to describe the chart elements. The three types of titles are chart title, category x-axis heading, and value axis heading. The other part is called legends. Legend is a key that explains what each piece of color or pattern of the data representation in the chart means. It is a cross-reference showing how each series is conducted in the chart. The other part is called data series. These are the row and the column headings that make up the range of values from the worksheet that is used to create a graph. They are the bars, the pie wedges, lines or other elements that represent plotted values. Data series often correspond to columns or rows of data in your worksheet. You can enhance the presentation of your data by adding data labels to a data series. Data series or data labels are used to explain the data points in a chart. The other part is called chart axis. Chart axes are the vertical and horizontal lines against which data is plotted. The x-axis is referred to as category axis, and the y-axis is known as the value axis. Categories reflect the number of elements in a series and correspond to the number of elements in your worksheet. The other part is called green lines. Green lines are incremental lines that may appear along each axis, and they help you to read the values on the graph more easily. The other part is called data table. Data table is the range of values included at the bottom of the chart that is used to chart the graph. So how do you see data range of your chart? Number one, you right-click it. Then click on Select Data command. Make any changes and click OK or click on Cancel. To label, 1, you click on the chart. 2, click on Design menu. 3, click on Add Chart Element. Point on Data Labels. I repeat, to label, click on the chart. Number 2, click on Design menu. Number 3, click on Add Chart Element. Point on Data Labels. Then select from the options the position for the data labels. To include chart title, proceed as follows. Click on the chart, then click on Design menu. Click on Add Chart Element. Point on chart title and select where it should be placed. Then select the chart title that will be displayed and type your preferred title. Number 6, click outside the chart to apply it. The following is therefore a demonstration on how to display data range, labels, and include chart title in a chart from a workbook called Eveliswap College Term 2 results. So if, for example, we look at this graph chart, this one, if we were to make some changes, we were to see the data labels or the data sources for the data represented here, we can right click on the chart. And then after clicking on the chart, you click on Format Data Source, or the best is Select Data. So click on Select Data. And then you can click OK, for example. So you can see the source of the data represented in the chart. Or you can also click on this other one, right click on it, right click on the chart, and then click on Select Data. Then you can just click OK. So this is the data for our charts. And that's how you are able to view the source of the data in your chart or represented in a graph. Example, if you want to add labels, to our elements in the chart, you can click on it and then click on Design menu. Then from the Design menu, you click on Add Chart Element. So you click, and then you can click on Chart Title. Chart Title. Has it appeared or disappeared? It has disappeared. So I'll click again on Add Chart Element. Then I click on Chart Title and click Above Charts. That's it. You can even edit it. You can even edit it as scores. You can even edit it as a scores. So just click inside the text box and then you type, for example, scores. That is text placeholder. Then you type scores. You can also do the same to this other one. So I'll click on it. Then under Design, I'll click on Add Chart Element. Under Add Chart Element, I can click on, for example, point on axis, or let me click on chart title, and then click on that one. Then I can replace this text here by clicking inside and then typing scores. Insert data labels. You click on the chart, then click on the side menu, then click on Add Chart Element, then click on Data Labels, and then you choose one of your choice. For example, I can choose Center. You can see where the labels have been placed. I can also repeat and have the data labels above. Let me have it outside edge. So click on it. So that's how you can add data labels within your chart or graph. To include chart title, you proceed as follows. You click on the chart, then click on the side menu, then click on Add Chart Elements. Select or point on chart title and select where it should be placed. Then select the chart title that will be displayed and your preferred title. Click outside the chart to apply it. So the following is a sample demonstration on how to display data range, label, and include chart title in a chart from a workbook called MLSWAP College Term 2 results. So you can continue to manipulate various other chart elements. For example, I can click on my pie chart, then right-click on it, or just click on it, then click on Design. And on Design, I can click on Add Chart Elements. We have been able to deal with the chart title. Then we have charts or the data labels in the chart. So I can click outside the chart or best fit, but the best, I'll click outside of the chart. Let me insert another one, data labels. Then I can click on that one, etc. If you want to deal with chart title, you click on chart title, and then you choose, for example, centered overlay. If it's this other kind of a chart, we can click on it, then click on Design, then under Add Chart Element, I can choose, for example, chart title, and I can have it as above the chart. So you can manipulate various data elements in a chart or a graph just as you would like. Let's now look at how to create a legend. To create a legend, you click on the chart and then click on Design menu. Click on Add Chart Element, point on legend, and specify how you want it to be displayed in the chart area. If you want to format chart data series, in the worksheet, you right-click the data series you wanted to format and choose Format Data Series from the shortcut menu. Number 2, in the Format Data Series dialog box, click the tab containing the options you want to change. Number 3, modify the options as you want. Number 4, close the Format Data Series tab. The following is a sample demonstration on how to create a legend and format data series in a chart from a workbook called Emily Swap College Term 2 results. So to deal with legend, you click on the chart, for example, the chart. Then click on the side and then under and chart element, point on legend. Then you can decide where your legend should be. So in this case, I can click on left. You can also format these other elements in the chart. For example, scores, you double click there and then you type your text like scores in cards. Then you click outside of the chart or of the graph. Always remember to save your work. Let's now have a look on how we can format chart data series just as explained in this tutorial. So to format data series of our chart or on graph, you can just right-click on the chart that way. And then click on Format. Click on Format. Now look here, we have Format chart area. What about if you right-click directly on the specific portions? What do you get? You can see if you right-click outside here, you right-click here, you right-click here on the chart, the kind of options you get will be different from when you right-click on that part. So you are going to right-click on this part because you want to format in data series, and then click on Format Data Series. From the Format tab that appear on your rightmost hand corner, you can choose the options of your choice. For example, fill. And then I can fill with solid color. I can undo if you find that your original color is disappearing or is being covered. Then, if you want, for example, to have other features, you can click on any of these tabs, including effects, like 3D format. And then let's see what happens. If I choose one like that, what will happen? So in other ones, you can format your data series just as you would want it to. Let me also right-click on this other chart here or on graph. Right-click on it and then click on Format. On Format Data Point, there's also Format Data Label. Let me click on Format Data Label this time around. And then you can make your settings under Format Data Label pane. For example, I can click on Fill, then I choose Pattern, and I mix the colors the way I want. And then, once you have done that, you can click on Close Pane. I can also right-click anywhere else in this chart, like here. And then I click on Format Data Series. Then I can decide how I want my series to look like. For example, I can click on solid fill, and then under effects, you can specify any effect of your choice. Once you are done, you click on close for the page, and then you always remember to save your work by clicking on save button. The other activity that you can perform in a chart or a graph is to move or resize a chart. To move an embedded chart, you click anywhere in the chart area and you press down left mouse button. Then drag it to the new location. So the following, or this can be demonstrated as follows using a chart from a workbook called Emily Swap College Term 2 results. So with this being our charts, we can move them the way we want. So I can scroll that way, then point my mouse pointer within the chart area. Press down the left mouse button and then drag your chart to any point of interest and then you release. You can also adjust the size by pointing on any of the handles. Then you press down the left mouse button. While pressing down, you can drag to any direction of your choice. And then once you have received the choice that you're interested with, you release your mouse button. Let me also do the same for this one. You can click anywhere within the chart area. Then while pressing your mouse button down, drag your chart or graph to the point of interest. You can even minimize it. You can reduce its size, and then you can move it the way you want. So that's how you manipulate a graph or a chart. Another activity that you can perform within your worksheet, and especially within your chart or graph, is to change the chart type. If you want to change the chart type, you can do it. So you can change in Excel chart type as follows. You right-click in the chart, and then you select Change Chart Type. In the Chart Type dialog box or drop-down list, click the Standard Types or Custom Types tab. Select the chart type you want and click OK. So this can be demonstrated as follows using a chart in a workbook. So if I want, for example, to change this chart, this one to a different type, what I'll do is I'll right click on the chart whose type I want to change. So I'll right click on the chart. I'll right click on the chart as follows. And then click on change chart type. Scroll on the categories given, for example, this category here, and then you click on it. I want to click one category, the area, and then you click on OK. So that's how we change the chart type. Let me change the scores in cards. So I'll right click on the chart. So I will right click on the chart area. Then I can click on change chart type. Then I can select, for example, stock, or I can choose column chart. And then on the subcategories to be displayed, click on one of your choice. For example, this one. And then click OK. So you can see that our chart are changed from pie chart to a column chart. So that's how you change the chart type. We can also perform formatting in the chart elements. To format the chart elements, you right-click the element you want to format and choose Format for that element from the shortcut menu. Then in the Format pane that appears, set the needed options. Click on the Close button for the Format pane once done. So this can be demonstrated as follows using a chart from a workbook called Emily Swap College Term 2 results. So to format an element in the chart, for example, chart title or chart title, I can click on the title as follows. Just click on it, then select the text. Then you can click on bold, make it bold. Then under size, you can increase the font size. Choose the text color, for example, that color. You can even underline the text or chart title as you have seen. You can even change the colors. So for example, I can format the color for the first bar like as follows. I will right click on it, then click on format. I click on format, data, labels. If I'm interested in changing the labels, then you can make all the necessary settings under format data, labels, including filling and all these others. But in this case, I'm not interested with those other options or activities. Always remember, for you to format any data element or any chart element, just right click on it and then specify what you want to do. For example, format legend. And then under fill, I can choose a color. For example, that one. Then once you are through, you can click on the close button. Always remember to save your work. And with that, my dear students and the rest of the learners, we have come to the end of part 17. You can now continue to part 18 of 18, in which I'm going to explain on how to print a worksheet. Congratulations, therefore, for learning part 17 of 18, in which you have learned about charts and graphs in a worksheet. You can access other parts in Applying Spreadsheet series, as well as other computer or ICT videos by clicking or tapping on Emily Swap ICT YouTube channel below this video. To subscribe to the channel, tap on subscribe button below this video in YouTube if it's not currently reading as subscribed. For any further correspondence, kindly write to us through the email mlswap@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening to me. Let's meet in part 18 of 18 in the series, and God bless.